What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're talking clones. Now, these are some of my absolute personal favorites, and I mean, this is not the end-all be-all for every person. There might be some of your favorites that aren't in here. These are just some of my favorites that I think are absolutely worth checking out across multiple brands that clone both some popular designers and a lot of stuff that clones higher level designer and niche that just really get the job done, whether it's because of accuracy or perhaps they provide a little bit of a twist that I find makes them more enjoyable than even the originals. It might be a giant performance boost. In some cases, it might be a quality boost, a rare occasion, but it does happen. All of these are affordable. All of these perform well. All of these are absolutely fan-damn-tastic in my opinion. There's links down below if you want to check any of them out, but you don't have to purchase anything to watch these videos. I just appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. So let's dive into these 20, shall we? Stay tuned. While Khadlaj makes a really good one that's more on the woodsy side, I still think for my money, Parfum de Altair, you're going to want to go with Fragrance World's Liquid Brun. This is one of those rare occasions that the clone is good enough for me. I do have a decant with a few sprays left in it of the original Altair. This is nice, sharp and slightly peppered citrus orange blossom, creamy vanilla, pretty thick woods, not as thick as Vanilla Dunes, but this is a good one, a really good one. This got all the hype in 2024, and I do think it was the best clone fragrance to release in 2024. I think it's totally worth grabbing still, no matter what other fragrances that smell like Altair come out. Once you have a winner, it can remain the winner. The latest and the greatest doesn't mean better than the previous. And in this case, I think this is still the best way to go. True bang for your buck, especially if you like woody vanillas. Again, that's from Fragrance World and that French Avenue line. It's Liquid Brun. Superb quality, smells extremely similar to Nishane's Hachivat. This is from Dumont in their Borouj line. This is called Spiritus. I love the bottle, the quality, the performance, the accuracy. It's all here. Citruses, fruits, a lot of spicy green, woodsy oak moss. Not quite as smoky, I find, as the oak moss that's found in actual Hachivat, but super close nonetheless. Some of Dumont's best work, especially this line in particular, I find to be their highest quality smelling fragrances of all their different lines. This stuff is spot on to me. I think if you don't want to spend Hachivat money, which 50 mLs can go around $100, you can get this for less than half of that, and I think this is very much worth grabbing because there's really not much of a quality gap here, I find. I mean, there's a quality gap, but not significant enough to warrant the extra money, in my opinion. Do I have the original? Sure. Do I wear it? Hardly ever. Because I've got some clones that do the job really well, and this one, in my opinion, is the best of the bunch. Especially, you got to like oak moss. Keep that in mind. It's from Dumont. It's Borouj Spiritus. Now, this is one of those fragrances I was saying provides a twist that I actually like this fragrance more than the original that it's copying. We're talking about Armaf's Club de Nuit Lionheart Man. This is supposed to be Lamal Elixir, and this is loaded with a peppermint smell at the top. It makes it so much fresher. It's powdery sweet, has the earthiness, the aromatics, all the things are here, but that minty green element in Lamal Elixir is heightened tenfold here. It legitimately smells like peppermint candy. It's so bright and fresh that you can actually pull this one off outside of the cooler months. This is really, really good. Great performer. It's more of an inspired fragrance because it's such a distinctive, heavy twist that I, in many ways, prefer it to the original, especially in the slightly warmer months. I wouldn't say, scorching high humidity heat, but you could totally pull this off on warmer days, especially in the evenings. I think it's fantastic. Armaf really impressed me with this one. Club de Nuit Lionheart Man. In 2025, this has been my favorite affordable release. This has been my favorite Middle Eastern release. This has been my favorite clone release. And if this was ranked, it would be at the end of the video, but this isn't ranked. This is Afnan's Rare Reef. I have been singing this fragrance's praises. It is Pacific Chill. It's an extrait. It smells like an extrait. It's nice and thick and rich in its aroma. Performance is great. It's fruity. It's citric. It's a bit tropical, watery aquatic. You get a little bit of a green element. It's nice and woodsy. It's so well rounded. God, they did such a good job. And previously, Luciano Coastal Breeze, I thought was the end all be all. There was a big quality gap versus the Louis Vuitton original to Luciano, where here you close the gap a little bit. Still not Louis Vuitton's quality, but Afnan tends, at least in my opinion, I find their fragrances smell a little bit better quality than a lot of the other offerings out there. The clone, these Middle Eastern brands have stepped their game up with their oil quality, but not all of them. Afnan, I still think, is in that upper tier when it comes to the quality of the oils used. And across the board, I think this checks all the boxes on what makes a great, affordable, inspired release. And you're definitely going to want to look into this one if you like the all-around fresh and fun fragrances that can be worn every day. This is Afnan Rare Reef. At this point, it's starting to be an oldie but a goodie, but I still prefer it to the original. I think it's better quality. It's smoother. Instead of fruity pear, it's sweet fruity apple. Right back to Afnan with 9 p.m. Yes, I know they have the new 9 p.m. flanker. I did buy it from Fragrant Villa recently, just waiting on that thing to come in. We will be doing a video soon at the recording of this video. I haven't smelled it yet. I haven't watched anybody's stuff. I haven't seen notes. I just bought it because I know I'm going to want to check it out. But this is similar to Ultra Male. Again, this was the first fragrance where I was like, wow, that is a big quality gap from the clone to the original, where the clone is superior. Monster Performer, I think it's great. It's sub $30, like lower $20 price range. Very sweet, spicy, nice and fruity. All the elements are here, powdery. It's just, you got to be in the mood for really sweet. This is a really sweet designer fragrance profile. That high compliment factor and a monster of a performer. This one will knock your nose into next week. So be wary of that. And then some people will bring up batches and newer versions of this and blah, 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 blah. Please stop fussing me for your nose fatigue while blaming the fragrance. They don't just water them down like that, like people think. I truly think it's some nose fatigue. I'm not going to say there hasn't been some reformulation because I can't confirm nor deny that. But I can tell you, this bottle right here, absolute monster performer. I still think it's one of the best, and this is one of those rare times I would recommend the clone over the original. And that's 9 p.m. from Afnan. Very similar to Versace Eros Najim. I did get this before I got the original. And while I do think the original is better, if you don't want to spend $100+ and you want to spend sub $40, Qaed Fursan's Untamed from Latafa will definitely get you there. This is a really good fragrance. Sweet, spicy, smoky, woodsy, oriental type fragrance. Little pinch of Eros's DNA in there, but it's more of this caramel, sweet, woody, smoky, spicy smell. Great performance. Oh, man, it smells like a more Middle Eastern type designer fragrance. Like if you took the sweet designers and added that oriental twist, the spices and the smokiness, the incensey type smells, the resins, you get this. They did really good with it. They did really, really good with it. It continues to impress me. Again, I would still recommend the original over this, but for the money, it's pretty damn hard to beat. Again, that's from Latafa. It's Qaed Fursan Untamed. Brand new release from Dumont. Absolutely love it. It smells like aquatic Wile Parfum to me. The bottle's beautiful as well with this frosted baby blue. This is Dumont Dumont Soprano Ice, their Panucci line, but this is from Dumont. So you get the fruitiness, the citrus, all of the aldehydes, the fizzy bright aldehydes of Wile Parfum. A big dose of incense. Nice hit of incense. And when you look at the note profile, it's like, what's making it aquatic? I can't tell you because there's nothing in there that would say it's aquatic. But it's got this almost icy, cool, watery, fresh-like effect to it that kind of comes across almost like a violet leaf type of aquatic. You know, a little watery feel, a little metallic. But none of that's listed here. So I don't know what's doing it to make it aquatic. It smells like the forgotten aquatic smoky flanker in the Y line because it dries down into more of a creamy resinous base. It's not super spicy with ginger, but there's a little hit of it here. Nice and woodsy. It's got a clean musky smell. This is absolutely stunning. The performance is fantastic. I did a full review on this one recently. Been wearing it sporadically here and there, week to week. This is damn good stuff right here, especially if you're a fan of the Y line. It's Dumont Soprano Ice. Now, Le Beau Le Parfum is my favorite Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance. The only thing I can truly think off the top of my head that would top it would be the inevitable Le Beau Elixir that I think one day we will get. And it doesn't mean necessarily it will top the Le Parfum, but pineapple, citrus, soapy floral, fresh green, powdery sweet, nice and tropical, hit of coconut. I love all the elements. This is actually smoother than Le Beau Le Parfum, but not quite as monstrous. This is a good performer, a very good performer on me, but not a beast like Le Beau Le Parfum. But Khadlaj Island, this stuff got hyped to death for a while, and it deserves it. The bottle's great. The smell is smooth, fruity, fresh, tropical coconut, nice and aquatic, beachy type of feel. Great atomizer. God, this smells good. It's affordable. It's just across the board. You get a lot for your money here. Value buy. Great fragrance. Because Le Beau Le Parfum, 4.2 ounce bottles are still going to run you $100-ish plus dollars, really. Then you can get this one for 30-ish, 30 to 40 range. You can just get this. Now look, would I prefer to have this over the original? No, because it's just something about the magic of the original, and it is a stronger fragrance. While performance isn't always the most important thing to me, when you're used to it, you're used to it. Whereas this one, a little bit smoother, a little bit fresher, but also a little bit weaker. And I don't mean the fragrance is weak, I just mean when you compare it to the beast of the original. But a great almost interpretation. I would recommend this one. I think this is damn good. I like having them both, honestly. Again, similar to Le Beau Le Parfum, we've got Khadlaj Island. You know, Parfums de Marly Greenly, great fragrance. And on test strip, these were virtually identical. When I got them on skin, I could tell this was a cheaper cedar oil, but still fantastic. This used to have a lot of hype, and it's starting to get hyped again. This is Aether in the French Avenue line from Fragrance World. Dead ringer for Greenly, other than the cedar notes a little bit sharper here, because it's a little bit cheaper smelling cedar oil. You get all that green apple fruitiness, fresh greens, a little bit sharper than they are soft woods here, but average to slightly above average performance, like 6-7 hour range and longevity. Pretty stout for an hour to an hour and a half. This is a damn good fragrance. Fragrance World, from my experience, they're 50-50. They're very hit or miss. They're either phenomenal clones or they're Taj 2. And it bothers some people that like Taj 2 when I talk, I guess, despairingly about Taj 2, because everybody hates when you like everything till you talk about how you don't like something that they really like. Then it's like, oh man, I can't believe, but I thought y'all wanted me to not like everything. I don't like everything. I never did. So Fragrance World Taj 2 is supposed to be Blue Talisman in a poor representation. Latafa's Art of Universe, which isn't in here. That's great. And then Afnan's Tarathi Electric, which I do prefer a little more. The reason I didn't put that in here is because I got enough Afnans. I didn't want to just keep piling Afnans. So no Blue Talisman clones here, but FYI, quick fun fact, honorable mention. If you want a great representation of Blue Talisman, Latafa's Art of Universe is really good, and Afnan's Tarathi Electric is also really good. Quality's a little bit better. That's why I prefer that one. But for Greenly, I can't imagine going the route of anything else, even if something was to get a little bit more accurate. Like I stated with Liquid Broom, once there's a winner, the latest and greatest doesn't necessarily need to be bought. You know, if you get this and you like this and 5 more Greenly clones come out after, doesn't mean you need to get them. If you're satisfied with this, why are you still going? Because if you're not satisfied with this and you buy another one, you're not satisfied, you buy another one, you're not satisfied, you're doing what I call cloning yourself to death. And by the time you get kind of like, I'm still not satisfied, you could have bought a bottle of the original. Pro tip, food for thought, keep that in mind. I do like the clones, but I really like the originals most of the time. So if you can't find that clone that scratches the itch for you, which I think this one scratches the itch for a lot of people for Greenly, this is damn good representation. If you can't find that one that does it, stop buying all the clones of it and just buy the original, because you'll never be satisfied. But in this case, I would say I would try this one. See if you like it. If you don't like this, then maybe move on to the original, because it's pretty damn close. It's a good value buy as well. It's Fragrance World's Aether in the French Avenue line. Spray with caution. Lattafa's Atlas. It's supposed to be Orto Parisi's Mega Mare. This is super mega sea salt dominant aquatic, earthy green oak moss. This stuff will blow your nose into oblivion. It is so freaking strong. It's an acquired taste because it's so salty and so strong. Man, it's good. It's good. The first time I smelled it, I was like, oh, that is too strong, too rich, too salty. And then I gave it a full wearing instead of just test spray. And I acquired the taste for it. It's just like foods and drinks. Sometimes you have to acquire the taste for the fragrance. This one I find I needed to. You may not. Right out the box, you may love it from first spray. You may need to give it a few tries before you find the love for it. You may never like it. But this is one that I think the potency and with the type of profile it is stands to either really excite somebody or really turn them off. So be wary. This one is freaking impressive though. That's why it's here, because it is a pretty accurate, not one-to-one, but none of these are one-to-one. There's no one-to-one clones. They don't exist. Clone fragrances, no one-to-ones. People can say one-to-one. There's no one-to-ones. There's a difference. Reverse engineering and the original artist making it from scratch, it's just never going to be one-to-one. But you can get really close. This gets really close. And this is like, and Mega Mayor is a crazy performer. This, I think, is even stronger than the original. Lattafa went overboard with the performance here. So if you like the beasts, the monster crazy Godzilla-like monster beasts, you're going to like Lattafa Atlas. Kind of a dead ringer for Reflection Man. Reflection Man is a great, well-rounded, dapper fragrance that you can wear every day. It's very professional, but you can also dress it down casually, I find. I think Khadlaj did a phenomenal job with Shiyaaka Red, as people like to call it, because of the red label. They have different colors. They have Shiyaaka Blue and so on. But this smells just like it. It's that slightly herbal green, powdery, fresh white floral. You got iris, you got jasmine, you got things like that. Woody vetiver. And the difference here, I think the yellow floral here, the Lang Lang, stands out a little bit more in the clone than in the original. But overall, pretty much a dead ringer. That's Reflection Man. That's Reflection Man. Great performer, too. Just like the original. Now, is there a quality gap from Khadlaj to Amouage? Yeah. But you need to know that going into it. You're not going to spend, $150 to $250 from discounters on Reflection Man versus the $30-ish you're going to spend on this. Because this is almost Reflection Man. This is one that I would say probably does the trick overall. I really have to question myself on, if I got this first, would I still have bought Reflection Man? One of my favorite Amouages. I think it's one of the most well-rounded men's florals of all time. Quite masculine, very dapper and professional. They nailed it. Again, I find a little bit more yellow floral here than the original, and that's pretty much the difference I get besides the quality gap, which this still smells of good quality. It's just Amouage is Amouage. I hold Amouage way up on a pedestal when it comes to fragrance. But yeah, they got there. They got pretty close. This is really good for the money. It's Khadlaj Shiyaaka Red. Now, I did a side-by-side. I still have a little bit of the decant left of Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Platin Prey, the limited edition flanker that came out not long ago. And while this I find a bit more spicy because of the saffron, they pretty much nailed it down. Fragrance World Arsh, this is definitely one of their hits. Smells like Platin Prey, bright but warm citrus, a little bit of a bitter almond smell, even though they don't list it. In here, it still has that bitter almond smell of the DNA. So good, too. That is so good. And you saw that beautiful atomizer. This is an above-average performer, not a beast. 6 to 8 hour range in longevity. Very, very bright for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like very, very bright. But manages to have some warmth, some depth. The quality here is actually pretty good as well. Fragrance World, hit or miss with their quality, just like their accuracy. In here, pretty accurate overall. Quality's good. Bottle, I think, is great. Atomizer's fantastic. Performance is above average. It's really good. I think it's right in that sweet spot where it's not too much, but it's far from not enough. Another value buy. I mean, we're loaded with them in this video. Again, that's Fragrance World's French Avenue, Arsh. Not quite as boozy as the original. Nice and earthy. Has the woodiness, the spices, all the elements. A little hit of fruit up top. Paris Corner did really good here. I still get the booziness even though they don't list it, but it's not quite as boozy as the original. This is their version of Tony Iommi's Monkey Special from Xerjoff. This is called Mysterium from Paris Corner. This is really good for those of you that don't want to spend Xerjoff money at discounters. You can get this, and it's pretty close. Again, I wouldn't say it's close to being one-to-one. I would say it's in that 80 to 85% range of accuracy, and like 85%. Like, it's pretty damn close. Performance is really good. The quality's decent. Not quite on par with Xerjoff, as expected, but this is one of those fragrances Paris Corner kind of stepped their game up. See, I get that nice boozy hit. It's not too sweet, but the sweetness from that boozy accord is here. Nice and earthy. Man, this is good. Man, this is good. If you like Tony Iommi Monkey Special, if you've tried it and you want the almost version, here you go. Paris Corner made you an almost version for a fraction of the cost. It's called Mysterium. All the cool kid brands are making their version of Le Beau Paradise Garden. To me, the best of the bunch is Hawash Tropical. And yes, I know they have a litany of new Hawas flankers coming out. I haven't spoken on it, but trust me, I always see everything. I know somebody's me in the comments, bro, you saw we got Atlantis and Viper and Cobra and Tom, Dick, and Harry and all the different flankers. They're just, yeah, they're like 4 of them. Malibu, 4 of them. This came out this year, 4 of them. I think it's a terrible marketing strategy. Why would you drop everything at once? That's so stupid, Rasasi. Space them out 1 a year, 2 a year at the most. 1 a year is the sweet spot. They wild to me. But they did a great job on this one, I find. You get just the right amount of the fig. It's green. It's a little spicy, coconut water smell. It's not all that sunscreen. It's smoother than the original. Great performer. It's a beast. Man, it's a really good one. I've been recommending the hell out of it. I've worn it several times at this point. God, that just smells so good. That smells so good. I actually prefer it to the original because it's smoother. It just is. I love the way the bottle looks. But Rasasi, calm your asses down. Like, why are y'all dropping all of these Hawas flankers at one time? That is... Fire your marketing guy. He's stupid. He's stupid. Because all everybody's going to talk about is how it's ridiculous y'all are dropping all of these Hawas flankers at once. Fire your marketing guy, Rasasi. He or she is a dumb ass. They're not doing you any favors with this. I'm telling you. I promise it's not the move. It's not the move. You don't need to hire me for marketing, but this is some free advice. Fire your marketing campaign guy or gal because they are stupid. Why, after, 2 months of this coming out, would you drop 4 more flankers? And you're probably going to drop another women's because they dropped the women's around this time too. So that would make 6 Hawas flankers in like 90 days. That's so stupid. I'm sorry. I hope this gets clipped. I hope Rasasi sees this. So dumb. Fire them. And I'm not one to want to take people's jobs away, but boy, I see a bad job being done. And I have 2 big pet peeves. And they can be combined into one. Is people getting my food wrong? I hate that shit. I'm specific with my food. And people that suck at their job. And if you get my food wrong, you suck at your job. So you could be both of those. But their marketing person sucks at their job. I'm sure a lot of you can agree. This is wild that they're dropping all these Hawases at once. But they better be great if they're expecting everybody to 50, 50, 50, 50 and just spend $200 more. If you were to buy all 4 new ones coming out, you're going to spend 50 to 60 a piece and spend the price of a niche fragrance on a collection of 4 fragrances. I get it. You're still getting 4 fragrances, but they must think we're all suckers to that level to where we're not going to pace ourselves. Like, this is going to be detrimental to their sales. I don't think everybody's just going to buy all of them right away. I'm going to, for the sake of reviewing and talking about them with you guys. It's what I do. There's benefit to me spending the money. Whereas you as the consumer, they're just trying to get your money. And you gotta wade through the waters here. So I'm going to try to do my part for those of you that value my opinion. But I know this was quite a tangent, but I wanted to speak on it real quick. For those of you that get to this point in the video, you're the ones that get to hear it. So I appreciate you getting to this point so you can hear my thoughts on it, because I think they're wild. But their track record on the fragrances being good is there. Fire, Ice, Black, Elixir. I like all of them. They're all good. This might be my favorite currently. Still, Ice is kind of my number one, but really good. Le Beau Paradise Garden, I actually prefer this to the original. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Take your time with the new ones coming and check this one out first. This one might be the only one you need. It's Hawash Tropical. Next from Paris Corner, Dead Ringer. This is one of those rare times I'll say it's about as one-to-one as it can get. It's not truly one-to-one. None of them are. None of them can be. But it's about as close as it gets. So 1 million Prive is the smell of autumn to me. One of my all-time favorites for the fall season. And long discontinued. Designer from Paco Rabanne. Bottles are expensive on eBay. Or you can spend 20-something bucks and get Paris Corner's Milano Prive and their Pandora Scents line. It is a dead ringer. Ambery, sweet, cinnamon spiced, Slightly earthy tobacco. This is so good. This is the yellows, the reds, the oranges, the browns, all the fall harvest colors wrapped up in one bottle. I don't wear it that often because I have 250 mLs of 1 million Prive. I'm just going to wear 1 million Prive. But if you don't have 1 million Prive, this is the one to get. This is as dead on as it gets. Again, no true one-to-one clones. They don't exist. I don't care what anybody says. You just can't make it exact. But you can get really close. They got really close. Performance is above average, too. 6 to 8 hour range. Not a beast, but above average. This is it. I'm telling you. Don't spend the money on those overpriced, price gouging 1 million Prive bottles on eBay. And just get Paris Corner's Milano Prive. Another one, Quality Gap is what separates it. Fragrance World is another hit for them. This is their version of Elysium O Intense. This is Imperium Intense. Rip the bottle off clear as day. But it's got that soured rhubarb, kind of damp, clean laundry, meets metallic, fruity citrus. A little bit more leathery than the other two versions of Elysium. You definitely get some earthiness here. It's woodsy. This is even a little smoky compared to actual Elysium O Intense. This is like, aside from the Quality Gap, this is definitely almost Elysium O Intense. They got really close. Above average performer once again. They did really good. This is definitely one of their hits. We got several from a few different lines from Fragrance World in this video because, like I said, they have some hits, they have some misses. This is definitely a hit. Not everybody's a fan of Elysium O Intense. I think it has a lot of charm. They went a different route with that formula, and I actually quite like it. You know, it's not the mass appealing over-the-top fragrance of Elysium Parfum Cologne or Elysium Parfum. It's got some more depth, character, and intrigue. A little sour, a little damp, earthy, smoky, yeah. But the base elements are still there. Metallic citrus, yeah. I think it's good stuff. It's Fragrance World's Imperium Intense. Heavy on the watermelon aquatic. Plenty of musky, woody spiciness. Smells like Percival, smells like Fierce. It is Ahmed al-Maghribi. Kaaf is a beast. Nose fatigue is a real problem for me. It starts off monstrous, super potent, strong, and then it fades to where it smells weak to me. And I know it's nose fatigue. And most of you that have it know it's nose fatigue and it's a beast. This stuff is really strong. It smells really good. The watermelon, that watermelon juice smell really stands out to me in this one. Watermelon aquatic, spicy, musky, woodsy. Super good. Great in the high heat, and it's a monster performer, so spray accordingly. High compliment factor type of stuff, affordable. It's a really good fragrance. Really, really good fragrance. Again, that's Ahmed al-Maghribi, Kaaf. Now, I've never smelled LV Symphony. Supposedly, it's similar to it. It smells like ice-cold lemonade with some warm ginger. Reminds me of like the lemon-ginger combo of Y. Eau Fraiche. This is in the Lourdes d'Espoir line from Paris Corner. This is called Memories of Summer. Big, big fan of this one. They also have Serene Grove, which is a nice twist on Pacific Chill. I didn't bring that one into the fold because we already had one for Pacific Chill that is even better with Rare Reef, but I'm telling you, fresh cut lemonade, fresh cut lemons and lemonade, and they don't list lemon, but the packaging's lemon, the bottle's lemon colored. It smells like lemons. It's like bergamot and like grapefruit and stuff like that, but it smells like lemon. It's so good too. I can spray it again. And ginger brightens it up, warms it up. You get more and more ginger as it dries down, but starts off very much with a nice lemonade smell. Average performer, around 5-6 hours. Is really good stuff. This is so refreshing on a super high heat day. Again, I don't know how accurate it is to the original. I really don't. I've never smelled Louis Vuitton Symphony. But as a standalone fragrance that I know is a clone, Memories of Summer is damn good. Not the most accurate representation of Aventus, just my favorite inspired fragrance of Aventus. Armaf's Club de Nuit Intense Man, limited edition Parfum. Lemon, pineapple, apple, fruity. More fruity than it is citric, like the other versions of Club de Nuit Intense Man are more on the lemon. This is more on the fruitiness, sweet fruity smell. Smoky magic, nice and musky, leathery, woodsy. All those elements, great performer, high compliment factor. smoothest of the bunch, I find. I have all of them. This is the smoothest of the bunch. I even have the UAE Special Day one, which is just the EDT. I don't care what anybody says. It's just a limited edition bottle. I do prefer this to the X-Straight because of the fruitiness, slightly. The X-Straight, I think, is a close second. Because the X-Straight to Parfum smells like the original formula, spot on, and they just cranked up the oil concentration. So if you love the original smell, get the X-Straight. That's the way to go. If you want a little bit smoother, fruitier experience, limited edition Parfum. Happy to have both, don't get me wrong, but this is my favorite affordable Aventus option. I got tons of them. I got ones that are way more accurate to Aventus' smell. I got a bunch of them that are way more accurate, I find, because this is more of a twist. Because the way the lemon is, like Aventus don't have lemon. Khadlaj Intense Man's heavy on lemon. It's the twist, but it's so good. Super cheap up close. Smelling up close, cheap ass smelling fragrances. But out in the air, like I like to call it, smoky magic. And that's Armaf's Khadlaj Intense Man limited edition Parfum. And last but not least, more of a twist than even the non-intense version was. So the original Nitro Red, we're talking about Dumont's Nitro Red Intensely. The original Nitro Red was more like Watermelon Jolly Rancher Hawas / Invictus. Smells very similar to Invictus and Hawas. Whereas this is even fruitier. They heighten the fruits, they thicken the fragrance, they warmed it up with some heavy amber. It's a little bit spicier. It's a monster, absolute monster performer. Nose fatigue's a real issue with this one. They added a magnetic cap. This is one of their best, this is their best fragrance, in my opinion. These two are my favorites, and it happens to be their two newest releases. I would, as much as I love Soprano Ice, Nitro Red Intensely is it. High compliment factor stuff. Crazy perform. It checks all the boxes. Real value here. Son of a bitch, that is so good. God almighty. I'm telling you. And I don't want to hear that youthful young man's teenagers. Shut your dirty whore mouth. I don't want to hear that putting the age. My 64-year-old, is Ted 65? Ted 64. My stepdad, I always forget. He wears the shit out of this. And he dresses like your typical 60-year-old man golfer. Okay? Dresses nothing like me. He don't dress youthful the way I do. He dresses like a 60-year-old man that loves golf. Golf shirts and shorts and plays golf all the time. Titleist hats, the whole nine. Right? Shout out to my stepdad. But he fell in love. Him and my mom fell in love with this when it first came out. I was visiting in town and staying at their house and did the review there, and they fell in love with it, and he bought a bottle on the spot. So I love telling that story when I'm talking about this fragrance because people put age limits on this. Even my man Kuba, shout out to Angel. I love that dude. That is my boy. Angel, stop putting age limits just because you don't feel like you could rock it because you got more salt and pepper. And you can. That's the fucked up part. He knows he can rock this shit. Yeah, it's more youthful. Sure. I know a 64-year-old man golfer that loves to wear this damn thing. So again, I stress, let's stop putting the age limits on it. Sure, we can say it smells more youthful, probably more enjoyable and more appropriate for a younger man. Appropriation, sure. I get the recommendation, but saying, I shouldn't wear this. It's too young man for me. I'm an old guy. No, hell no. Stop that old guy stuff. Again, I got to keep using Angel as an example. Angel, let me speak to you. And I hope I get a message from him after he sees this. Because I know people go, TLTG was talking about you. Positive things. I love Angel. Angel, you wear a fucking medallion with your face on it that's iced out. You wear iced out shades. I won't hear you too old to wear it. You dress like a 25-year-old D-boy. I dress like a teenager is what I'm told all the time. May Hulk Hogan rest in peace. No, I don't condone his actions off camera. I'm just a giant wrestling fan. Okay? So I don't want to hear anybody shit on that. But Cuba. You wear nothing but iced out jewelry all the time, and one of the medallions got your damn face on it. So, yes, you could wear this. You ain't too old. Ain't nobody too old. 90-year-olds could rock this if they like the way it smells. So, shout outs to my man Angel. That, like I said, nothing but positivity when it comes to talking about him. So don't y'all go trying to twist shit. That's my boy. But he's the main one I've seen. Like, this too young. Shut up. Stop it. Zip it. Stop it. Everybody can wear this. It just comes down to, do you like it? Now you're gonna have to blind buy it so you won't know. until you spend the money, right? That's what sucks about situations like this, these affordable fragrances. But if you like the original, you'll probably love the Intensely, because that's the case for me. Dumont Nitro Red, Intensely. Well, that's 20. Long video. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. Just to recap on some of the tangents. No, Cuba, you're not too young to wear Nitro Red Intensely. Rasasi needs to fire their marketing team, at least the head of marketing, because dropping 4 Hawas flankers at once 2 months after you dropped a women's and a men's flanker is stupid. And all 20 of these fragrances are really good. That's to recap everything and summarize it, all the things. The 2 tangents, that one was very serious about Rasasi fucking up, and the other was giving my man Cuba a hard time. And then, like I said, 20 incredible fragrances. Look, I'm not always for the clones. I do prefer the originals in most cases, but as we talk through some of these, I actually recommend the clones a few times over the originals in certain instances. So I come from a consumer standpoint, not perfume snobbery. I do understand this is ripping off original art. I don't like that aspect of it. I really don't, but I also understand as a consumer trying to save some money and have some variety where the value lies. I get it. So there's links down below if you want to do some shopping. You don't have to buy nothing to watch these videos. I just appreciate you making it to this point. Make sure to like and subscribe before you leave. We'll see you on the next one.